As Chris pointed out, I have not been real public with my activism for 40 years, and for those of you who are here keeping the rest of us under surveillance, I'm not sure if you know where I've been or what I've been doing, and I know that's your business. We used to refer to the infiltrators and the surveillance as the Holy Ghost of the security state. They're all around us all the time, and they move in mysterious ways. But the power of the people is stronger than the man's technology. I came up through the 60s with a young group known as Up Against the Wall MFs, and we were classified as a street gang with an analysis. Go figure. When we use the word occupation, it usually referred to a job. And when they told us to go home and get a job, they meant it. And now, if they tell you guys to go home, tell them that it got foreclosed and you used to rent it, but it's gone. If they tell you to get a job, tell them there aren't any. I saw it in the pamphlet. What I want to point out tonight is that the Arab Spring, how's this sound? Am I too close? They say Johnny never met a microphone he didn't fall in love with. But the Arab Spring has now turned into the American Fall. And in order not to be exclusive, I think we need to have a little bit of empathy for the 1%. So what I'm offering is a proposal that we offer membership in the 99% to the 1% if they donate everything they have that made them 1%ers. And then they become eligible to be in the 99. As we moved into this season, I recognize that winter weather and the impatience of the police state were going to make it really hard on the Occupy movement. And so I wrote something that is a message from my generation to the youth. And I have been asked to read it. And if it's all right with you, I'm going to do that. Salute to the youth of the Occupy movement. From activists of the 60s and others, let it be said that the first post-World War II generation, raised in the emerging affluence of the 50s and growing into adulthood during the birth of rock and roll, the heartache of Vietnam, and the social recognition of the civil rights of all people. Let it be heard loud and clear that the signed-on activists, of which there are now 91 from around the country onto this letter, let it be said and heard loud and clear that these signed-on activists and others of our generation endorse, support, and offer our own heartfelt passion and the full extent of our abilities and the availability of our assets to the process and the progress of the Occupy movement. Humanity's struggle for freedom and the evolution of justice for all has been characterized by alternating periods of dormancy and punctuated bursts of renewed momentum and change. We view your efforts as an extension and culmination of our own and of those who came before us. And we recognize the new heights of participatory democracy and idealistic hope to which you are lifting us all. As the decades have passed since we were demonstrating in the streets of this country and challenging its status quo in the corridors of power, as these decades have passed, there's come about an ever-increasing shift in the wealth of this nation, an ever-widening attempt to dominate the affairs of other nations, a fearful erosion of the potential for liberty both here and abroad, a sustained corporate assault on the inalienable right to the pursuit of happiness, and the wholesale profit-driven degradation of a healthy earth for everyone, even for those of the 1%. We welcome your energy, your clarity, your resolve, and your commitment. You truly are the next stage in the quest for a humanity at home on this planet and for a safer world, cooperating and advancing the betterment of all. You, as the next chapter in these international challenges, are both our children and our mentors. We encourage your refusal to adopt the limitations of a set of demands. For in our experience, that strategy brings about divisiveness. We applaud your resistance to the temptation to name leaders and your embrace of shared leadership as the only valid organizing trajectory aiming toward success. And perhaps above all, we welcome your ability and credo to avoid feeding the frenzy and appetite of a voracious, fickle, and ultimately destructive establishment media. We pledge our resources, our remaining health, our prayers and our dreams to the service of this universal cause. We look forward to the remaining days of our lives being re-energized and nourished by your dedication to the righteousness of the age-old hunger for freedom and the thirst for justice that were at the absolute core of our own days on the front lines, are now at the heart of this momentous movement and will always be the focus of an undying vision of life worth living for all people.